The envelope trembled in my hands, its crisp edges biting into my palms as I stood frozen in the kitchen. The DNA results inside held the power to unravel everything I'd built my life upon. 3 kids, a marriage, a home filled with laughter and chaos. I wasn't ready. But the gnawing suspicion, that quiet dread that had haunted me for months, wouldn't let me wait any longer. "Mark, you okay?" Sarah's voice floated from the living room, soft and casual, like she hadn't just spent the last decade lying to me. I didn't answer. My heart pounded, a drumbeat of betrayal I could no longer ignore. We'd been married for 12 years, Sarah and I. High school sweethearts turned suburban parents. We'd weathered sleepless nights with newborns, job losses, and the slow grind of routine. I thought we were solid. Not perfect, whose marriage is. But real. I trusted her. Loved her. Even when the late-night texts started, when she'd slip out for girls' nights that stretched past midnight, I told myself it was nothing. She was just stressed, I reasoned. We all need space sometimes. But then there was the day I found her phone unlocked on the counter, a message from Chris glowing on the screen. "Miss you already. Same time next week." My stomach churned, but I didn't confront her. I couldn't. Instead, I started watching. Noticing. The way she'd avoid my eyes when I asked about her day. The way she'd linger in the bathroom, whispering into her phone. The way our kids, Lila, 8, Ethan, 6, and little Noah, 3, seemed to carry features I couldn't quite place. A sharper jawline, darker eyes, a laugh that didn't echo mine. I ordered the DNA tests in secret, swabbing their cheeks while they slept, my hands shaking with guilt and dread. I told myself I was paranoid, that I'd laugh at myself when the results came back. But when I tore open that envelope, the truth hit like a freight train. None of them were mine. "Mark." Sarah's voice was closer now, tinged with concern. She stood in the doorway, her blonde hair pulled into a messy bun, her green eyes searching mine. "What's wrong?" I held up the papers, my voice steady despite the storm inside. "You want to explain this?" Her face paled, but she didn't flinch. "What are you talking about?" "Don't," I snapped, my voice breaking. "Don't lie to me anymore. The kids, Sarah, they're not mine." The silence was deafening. Her lips parted, but no words came. For the first time in years, I saw her. Really saw her. Not the woman I loved, but the stranger who'd built a life on deception. "How long?" I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. She looked away, her hands twisting together. "Mark, How long, Sarah?" "Years," she admitted, her voice small. "It started before Lila." The room spun. Before Lila. That meant every moment, every late-night diaper change, every school play, every "I love you, Daddy," was a lie. I sank into a chair, the weight of it crushing me. "Who?" She hesitated, then whispered. "Chris. From work." Chris. The name burned, a brand on my heart. I'd met him at her company's Christmas party years ago. A charming, slick guy with a handshake too firm and a smile too wide. I'd shaken it off, trusted her. Now, I saw every glance they'd shared, every laugh, for what it was. "Why?" The word tore from me, raw and desperate. "Why didn't you just leave me?" Tears spilled down her cheeks, but they didn't move me. "I loved you," she said. "I still do. It was a mistake, Mark. I didn't know how to stop it." "A mistake." I laughed, bitter and hollow. "You let me raise 3 kids who aren't mine. You let me love them, Sarah. You let me love you. I didn't want to lose you," she sobbed. I thought we could still be a family." I stood, the papers crumpling in my fist. "You don't get to decide that for me." The next weeks were a blur of rage and grief. I moved into the guest room, unable to sleep beside her. The kids didn't understand why Daddy was quiet, why I couldn't look at them without my heart breaking. I loved them, God, I loved them, but every giggle, every hug, was a reminder of her betrayal. I started digging, piecing together the affair. Hotel receipts, late-night calls, a second phone she thought I'd never find. The evidence piled up, each discovery a fresh wound. I hired a lawyer. Not because I wanted revenge, but because I needed something to hold on to, some way to make sense of the chaos. The lawyer, a sharp woman named Karen, laid out my options. "You've got grounds for fraud," she said, her voice calm but firm. "You raised these children under false pretenses. We can sue for emotional distress, financial compensation, maybe even custody." "Custody?" I asked, my throat tight. "They're not mine. They're yours in every way that matters," she said. "You've been their father. The court will see that." The idea of fighting for them, of keeping them in my life, sparked something in me. But it also terrified me. What if they hated me for tearing their world apart? What if they found out the truth? The court date loomed, a storm cloud over our fractured home. Sarah begged me to settle, to keep it quiet. "For the kids," she said, her eyes red from crying. "Don't drag them through this." "You don't get to play that card," I said. "You broke this family, not me." But as the trial began, I felt the weight of my decision. The courtroom was cold, sterile, a stark contrast to the warmth of our old life. Sarah sat across from me, her face drawn, Chris nowhere in sight. My lawyer presented the DNA results, the receipts, the timeline of her affair. The judge's face remained impassive, but I saw the flicker of sympathy when I took the stand. "I thought I was their father," I said, my voice cracking. "I built my life around them. I don't know how to be anything else." Sarah's lawyer argued she never meant to hurt me, that she loved our family. But the lies were too deep, the betrayal too vast. The judge ruled in my favor, financial compensation for the years of deception, but no custody. The kids would stay with Sarah, though I'd have visitation rights. It felt like a hollow victory. When I saw the kids after the trial, Lila ran to me, her arms tight around my waist. "Are you leaving us, Daddy?" she asked, her voice small. I knelt, tears burning my eyes. "Never," I promised. "I'll always be your dad." But as I drove away, the weight of the truth settled in. I wasn't their father, not biologically. The love I felt for them was real, but it was tangled in the wreckage of Sarah's lies. I didn't know how to rebuild, how to trust again. The house we'd shared felt like a ghost town, haunted by memories of a life that never truly existed. I pulled over, the road blurring through my tears. The kids' faces, Lila's crooked smile, Ethan's curious eyes, Noah's tiny hand in mine, flashed in my mind. They were mine, no matter what the test said. And maybe, just maybe, that was enough to keep going. The future was uncertain, a blank page after years of a story I thought I knew. But I'd write a new one, for them. For me. One truth at a time.